For sure. Okay. So I'll get this thing started right here. So we have Emilio DiSpirito, the team leader at the DiSpirito team, HomeSmart, of HomeSmart Professionals. He's got his own iHeartRadio show every Sunday, WHJJ. It's a real estate show. He's in the top 10 in sales for Rhode Island and 0.5% across the country. He was a keynote speaker at HomeSmart 2020 Growth Summit, which we saw all on social media, was awesome. And he was actually ranked as the #1 realtor on social media based on a pretty large online publication. And the reason why I love him is because he's not only an absolute rainmaker, but he's a true business owner and leader. Anyone can be a rainmaker in real estate if you work hard enough, if you know the stuff. But he is actually a business owner, and a business owner who knows how to lead people. That's why I love him. And thank you for joining me on this, Emilio. I appreciate it, buddy.
Wow, thanks, man. That was quite the intro. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Those are all your accolades, man. Easy for me to read them. But so thank you for doing this. Just to kind of get back to it. So can you tell me a little bit about what you've got going on right now, what you're doing on social media, just to kind of give me some context and get us kind of up to speed?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with everything that recently happened, we noticed a huge shift of large companies. They stopped spending on pay-per-click. They stopped spending on Facebook. So we saw it as an opportune time to be a local force and to go out and to educate the consumer. So we've linked up with Namra Consulting to go out and get us some more pay-per-click, help us with the SEO. And it's really helped to elevate our brand. I mean, we're getting in, buyers and sellers on a weekly basis that have seen us from online and from our videos that we do and from the pay-per-click. So when everyone else was ramping down and slashing marketing and sales, Taylor, we actually added a full-time position for marketing, and we're looking to build out our sales team. We have a new agent that's coming on, and we're just literally investing everything we got into our own stock.
That's awesome, man. It's like that Warren Buffett mentality, right? When other people get conservative, that's when we get greedy, right?
Yes.
So it's awesome to see you doing that. How long have you been having that type of mentality? Where does that come from?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Well, everyone in my family pretty much owns businesses. So, as a young dude, man, I started my first gig like knocking on doors when I was, in single digit age. I was like maybe 8 or 9, doing lawn service and snow shovel stuff. And yeah, I had a club people could join, so whatever. But and I find that common a lot with business owners. They like to have that, right? It's just, I don't know how to explain it, but there's always like a drive to like want to do more, can't sit still. But I want to bring something up. I was thinking about this the other day. When the market got really hot, okay, from say 2014 to early 2020, a lot of theory went around, why are we going to spend a ton of money on video and marketing when buyers are coming in anyways? But I started in 2012 in the bottom of the market, and the whole time, I was all about investing into video marketing, blogging, and just investing in that. And we have only ramped up the amount of money we spent on marketing. So what happens is when you're Googling people like that, like teams like mine or agents like us, you're going to find that they pop up in every single search result. It's from years and years and years of doing what everyone else wasn't. So we stayed consistent. Actually, we added to it when everyone else was pulling away, because we knew at the end of the day, there would be a time like now where all of that marketing would catch up.
Yeah, and become basically a core fundamental tenet of your business. It's not just another expense on, your P&L. It's a core function of your business that you guys count on. And that's what I love to see out of you, because we were talking about this earlier. I know during times like these, when things are a bit uncertain, people say, well, how's it going to help me? Where is the success going to come from? How's it going to lead to more sales, more wins for me? And for you, you have basically an understanding of how valuable video is, how valuable social media is. And it's just just do it. Just like you turn on your lights in the morning when you walk into your office, like it's there, right?
Yeah. Yep. Well, you know, Taylor, one of the things too is that I think people get caught up with like, so they might look at someone like yourself or someone like you know, Greg with Nexus Property Management or Jimmy with Lions Property
Yeah, we just had
Management.
them
We're
on.
just talking about them, right? These guys are beasts. Like they're out there hustling all the time, but don't look at what everyone else is doing. Just focus currently on where you can start because people always forget where everybody started. In 2012, I was the laughing stock, okay? And some people still laugh at my stuff, they hate on my stuff. That's okay because they're still engaging with my stuff, bringing up the algorithm. I'm good with that. But you got to start somewhere.
For
Let's
sure.
take it
Now,
on stage.
in 2012, when you started, was that as the DiSpirito team or as an individual realtor?
No, I was an individual realtor for like a year and then I got busy. But what a lot of people don't realize is I started blogging and I'm no writer. Like I was a C student in school, man. Like I always did it good in English, but like I wanted to learn about the consumers, about the market, and I wanted to bring value. So at that time, not a lot of people were blogging. I started blogging, and all of a sudden, I get a letter in the mail a year later from the Real Estate Radio Network. Like, hey, we see your stuff online. We want you to host a radio show. And they sent it out to like 3, 4 other people. It was a pitch, you know what I mean? But I went there, I met with them, and they were talking about video and how video has increased. And I'm like, these guys are brilliant. You know, I invested all the money I had at that time into the show, and I had no sponsors. And I don't even want to say how much the show cost to produce with video, with radio, with the commercials, with the content, everything. It's a lot, right? And I went all in, dude.
Yeah.
And I had people like, you know, I had people like say like, no, we can't, you know, we don't want to get on the show. We can't sponsor it. But then there were a few people that were all about it. And
Yeah.
then it just went from there.
And how long did that show? Because it's so funny that you say you took on this massive responsibility, this massive like expense, but you saw it as an opportunity. How long did it take for you to start recouping or understanding and seeing those benefits? Are you still seeing them today, or did you have a break even in mind, a break even point in mind, or were you just of the mindset like, I know it's going to be, if I commit to this long term, it's going to be net positive, and I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's so this is one of the hardest things to do. Like we were talking about this before we jumped on this call, right? So everyone wants immediate results, immediate results, immediate results. You just don't get that in business. You got to throw a lot of stuff against the wall. Some of it sticks, some of it doesn't. Like literally 90% of my videos probably suck. I don't know. I mean, they might have like, and I don't care. Like they might have 20 views on YouTube and or 100 views, but it doesn't matter because it's content that I can share. And when people are Googling stuff, I pop up and then they see this is what they see: consistency. People trust consistency. So that's why I like the radio platform very much, because we have to be in the studio at 11 a.m. I'm sorry, 10 a.m. every single Tuesday. So for 5 years, we've been doing this. Every show we get 4 to 5 videos, so we're pumping this out along with our podcast and everything else, and then all these pieces of content like Gary Vee talks about all the time. Just pump content out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do get results from it, but it's like more or less brand recognition, being able to educate consumers, being able to educate industry professionals, just people being aware of the brand, and then also all the hits to our website.
Yeah, it's understanding the big picture and then just putting your head down, grinding and staying consistent. It's so true, because we have this conversation all the time. Volume is so key, consistency is so key, because what content sucks, that's subjective, man. What sucks to me doesn't suck to the guy next to me. So it might have got 5 views, but the 4 of the people who did view it loved it and it turned into business. You never know. So that's why consistency is so key. So I would actually love to hear some of the types of video content you have going out right now. Like you're not an open house, right? That's some stuff you're doing right now. So what are some of those new ideas for content, video ideas? You already talked about PPC, but what else you got going on?
Yeah, man, that flopped actually last week. You know what I mean? And so like we're constantly pumping out a lot of ideas. And the biggest thing is this, before I talk about that, is you got to expect to give more than you expect to get. And that's with anything. And I've failed in so many areas of my life with that, right? And I'm learning, right? But as far as business goes, you just gotta not expect whatever you're doing to be that great idea. It's like the light bulb. It took Thomas Edison 10,000, not to get cliche, but 10,000 tries. So he figured out, 9,999 ways to not make the light bulb, right?
Correct, exactly.
So, yeah, so that's it. So a lot of people want the immediate results, and I feel bad, and I feel like maybe they don't know that it doesn't happen like that, and it's okay. Failure is good. So we did the not an open house on the premise that people, might get a kick out of that, and they might want to go during those open house times as it would be convenient. But we got 0 bookings across the board. And I think the reason being is because people's schedules are opened up and they don't want to go on the weekends. They can go any day. So we're going to actually throw out a targeted email campaign to a targeted group of people on our website that are looking for that specific type of home. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send them a quick video and send them our Calendly link so that they can book anytime, any day that they want, make it super convenient for the consumer.
Got it. Now, okay, that makes sense. So there, I hear like there's 2 things going on. One, it's just like outside forces, right? People don't want to watch a open house video when it's the weekend and they don't have to, and their schedule's wide open. So are you taking that piece of video content that might have flopped and reusing it in any way?
Oh, well, actually, so we're just making a short video to take people into the house. Like we're going full force here.
Yeah.
We're masked up, got gloves on, but we've got agents on our team that we're like, dude, let's not shut the team down. Let's go.
Absolutely.
And while we have the virtual options, more consumers are leaning towards the in-person showing. So we're booking privately.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pop, boom, boom, boom.
Awesome. Okay. One-on-ones. Nice. And now how will you, for something like that, how will you judge whether or not it's successful? How will you judge whether or not you want to do it again?
So I would say when people are opening up the email campaign and engaging with it, what it does is you gotta in marketing, you gotta read in between the lines, right? So just because somebody's not replying to it or not booking a calendar doesn't mean that they're not interested. You gotta understand that they're probably running a business or they're teaching the kids at home. So they could be on, the computer and forget to click it and then get off. So anybody that opens the email, anybody that clicks on a link, anybody that engages with the email, we are going to personally reach out to them and say, hey, we saw that you saw this email. Is this something you want to see? If not, what else do you want to see? And it allows our agents to engage with these people in a meaningful, very tailored way. And it's customized. People don't don't send me emails about cookies on St. Patrick's Day. I don't want that. I don't make cookies. I eat them. I don't make them. So those mass marketing emails are done. You've got to have a super customized message and you've got to follow up with it. I think it's 16 times you have to follow up with the lead before you can turn them over to a buyer or a seller.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that rule of 3, the traditional rule of 3 in marketing, where you have to hit them 3 times before they even know you exist. Now on social media, as you know, I'm sure, there's so many other people doing the same thing, other real estate agents competing for that same attention, that same space. That rule of 3, who knows? It could be a lot more than that now, So I definitely get that. Are there any other kind of challenges you're trying to overcome with this COVID stuff by using social media, digital marketing, video marketing? What's going on right now that's kind of a real big challenge for you?
Yeah, I would say the biggest challenge is kind of dealing with some people's mindsets, and not only that, but we all have our own fear too. We're constantly bombarded with negative information, negative news, fake news, whatever you want to call it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that it's going to take America a while to get back to the norm. If it ever does go back to the norm. So that's a great question. It's a loaded question. I could answer it for hours. But the biggest thing is we got to get the people off of the fence that are healthy and able to go out and buy. And for the most part, they are. but there's still a large chunk of people that are holding back on listing homes. So what's happening is during this time of the year, we normally have a massive amount of listings. We have half as many as we had last year on the market. So what it does is it creates a lower amount of inventory for buyers to look at, and prices are still escalating. So we're seeing that buyers are having a hard time finding homes, good homes, and they're having a hard time, because the prices are still pretty high.
Got it. And I won't even go into the speculation, because one thing I'm just not a fan of, I don't expect anyone who I talk to be like have a magic ball. So I won't even ask you, what do you think is going to happen this summer? But I'm glad that, you have an understanding of what's going on. It sounds like basically just trying to spread the message of working with your clients, getting them out there in front of as many eyeballs as possible, and knowing that, good things will happen at the end of the day, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to tell you what I think is going to happen this summer, if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, please. I'd love to hear your thoughts, man.
Well, I'm already seeing it. The last couple of sunny days, you see the roads packed. I mean,
it's funny how that works.
Right? Everyone is out. People are sick and tired of being inside, and ultimately we are adults, okay? And I think we should definitely keep safe distance and, wear masks, do all that stuff for the time being. We don't want anybody getting sick, but the people that are healthy and able to are going to be going out in public.
Yeah.
This is America. We've got a constitution, okay? We have rights, and people are going to exercise those rights, okay? And we need to, but so whatever, I'm not going to get into that, but a very long story short, I think that a lot of people are going to start putting more homes on the market, and a lot more buyers are going to go out, and I think we're going to see a robust housing market. The housing market has been fantastic. And just quickly, what happened was there are fewer buyers, but there's also fewer sellers. So it's just a paradigm. So literally, we were in basically the same market with just fewer of each. Okay, so we're still in that seller's market. So I see things going good. One quick opportunity I want our entrepreneurs to realize out there is that, unfortunately, there's going to be, and Greg Rice with Nexus, I got to quote him for this, there's going to be a lot of multifamilies with the storefronts under them that are unfortunately going to be closing. But you can purchase these sometimes with FHA mortgages, 3.5% down, so they're not treated as a 25% commercial property. That's going to be a huge opportunity for people, for small business owners and investors. Watch out for those.
Gotcha. Okay, that's a good tip. I like that for sure. I'll definitely keep an eye out for myself personally too.
Yeah. Exactly.
And now, so do you see any opportunities coming up on the social media side of things? I think we already talked about it, but I kind of wanted to get back into that. You see a lot of people, and I think I've seen the same thing. People are holding on to their pennies a little bit tighter. Maybe, if they did have a couple $100 a month put into Facebook or Google ads, they're pulling those out, cutting what they see as discretionary costs. So what do you see as an opportunity for, a real estate agent or, a business owner, someone, whatever?
Yeah, you will never have an opportunity like this again, probably. I mean, everyone, like you said, is cutting back, right? So it's like, if here's how I've always operated. If everyone's going this way, I'm going this way hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if everyone is pulling away from marketing, it means whoever's there is going to spend less, get double, triple, quadruple the coverage, and they're going to come out strong. And it may not happen right away, but while everyone else is trying to get kick-started and spending 4 times as much as you did for that one view, you know what I mean, later on down the road, you are going to be just, kicking butt and taking names. So go all in right now. Look, we've been in worse times. 2008, 2009, horrible housing market. We're not in a bad housing market. So if I'm a real estate agent or a real estate team, I'm going all in right now.
Yeah, I can't agree more. The one thing that I've been kind of tossing around back and forth since this thing started is, we know that consumption and spending is down, but consumption and attention and views and Googles and website views, those are all up. And the value of one view, one impression, those still matter. They're going to be less expensive, but they still matter long term. So if you're a business owner or someone who cares about their long-term brand, long-term branding, right now is a buying opportunity. It's a potential to really, when you have an extra hour or two because you've had a couple meetings canceled, create some video content, because right now there's never a better time to get into the content game to establish your brand. So I think we're totally in lockstep on that. And I'm glad to hear you feel the same way.
Yeah, I did one video like in front of one of our listings, and I was wearing like I was out in the country, so I looked country, whatever. So I'm walking around with my camera phone. That thing got like 8,000 hits, almost 8,000 hits. We pulled 3 leads off of it. Now we're working with 3 different potential buyers because of that video.
Yeah.
So, think about that, right? If you're a real estate agent, what is, 3 buyers on a $250,000 property? Never mind all of the people they know, and it's just a spider web. So I'm with you 100%, man. Definitely.
Awesome. Perfect. And then the last thing, any other tips or tricks or advice to the person who's procrastinating right now? I think we kind of already covered it, but I wanted to kind of give you a chance to hammer that home for the person who's procrastinating, or isn't ready to commit to social media or really digital marketing at all. What's something you have for them? Anything?
Yeah, I would say, look, first off, I'm a capitalist, right? So I believe that my time is good at what I do, and I want to support the local economy. So I'm not cutting my lawn, even though I can. Okay. I have someone cut my lawn because they could do it for $35. They're done in a half an hour. It would take me 2 hours. And in that time, I could be working, prospecting, creating content, right? So I would just suggest hire a company, hire someone like
I didn't tell him to say that.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but legit, like, right, like, dude, I don't have time to do all this marketing stuff. So I hired a full-time marketing director, Jade, and now Jade comes in and she works with Namra. You guys get the pay-per-click stuff, dude. I'm not an expert in Google Analytics. I am not a sign maker. I'm not a sign installer. I'm not a photographer. What the hell am I? I guess I'm a guy that puts all the pieces together, and then that's it. And that's how a business runs. So you need to ask yourself, I think, I don't mean to get loud. I get
No, you're good. I love it, man. I hear the passion in your voice. It's true.
Yeah, man, I'm not yelling at anybody. I just look at it as, not only are you really actively as a real estate agent stimulating the economy around you, you are just such a huge, huge, huge part of this community. And you can't take it lightly. And I think you need to focus on doing what closes business and helping your clients. And when you get rid of all the other aspects that are distractions, then your business is going to explode.
Nailed it, man. I couldn't have said it better myself, man. That's perfect. So thank you. That's all I have. Any closing remarks? Give yourself a little plug here. Where can people find you?
Just Google DiSpirito team. If you spell it wrong, it'll come up. That's it. We're helping people in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, but we can also refer people across all 50 states through our referral network. Make sure you get with a top local real estate agent anywhere you're relocating to. But ultimately, man, thank you so much for having me on. Really, dude, and actually one last quick thing. I would not have made it anywhere without a couple things: my family, my network, okay, and without failing over and over and over and over again. And we're still failing a lot today, okay? We really are. And of course, I consider my team my family too. So I don't want them to think they're in there. You know what I mean? That's it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that, man. And I hear you. And I appreciate you spreading, positive message out there and encouraging people to go ahead, mess up. It's okay. It's good for you long term,
Yeah.
So thank you, man. I appreciate it. And everyone could please go check out Emilio. I've worked with him personally. He's helped me so much. His team's amazing. I can't say enough good things about him, his team. So thank you again for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks.